too.
Oh, welcome everybody to Frequency Friday. This is Nancy B, and there's Roseanne. Oh, Roseanne. And she is over there. I'm losing my
Hello.
light sources. It's Friday. How's everybody doing tonight? Put an emoji in the comments of how you're feeling at right now at this moment.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean, people.
Yeah, because we're feeling all over the place.
Yeah. A little wonky, a little wobbly.
Yeah.
It all gets to be okay, though. It all gets to be okay.
Absolutely.
Every
Yeah.
emotion, everything that comes up to the surface is coming up for a reason. So roll with it.
Exactly. Let it come in, feel the feeling, and let it roll out, just like the tide coming in on the shore. Just so some feelings are more like a crashing wave on top of you, and some feelings are just kind of like, oh, it's just like very gentle and going, but they're repetitive. They go back and forth a lot. So we don't know about you guys, but both of us have had an interesting week. So we thought we'd talk about the frequency of belief, and really the frequency. We talked about the frequency of negativity, but I hate to say it that way, but it's very true. It's like there's a frequency of negativity, and there's also a frequency of belief. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, because both of us in one way or another got triggered by those frequencies this week. Yeah. Do you want to share your story? You want me to start?
Go ahead. You can start.
I'll start. Yeah. So Roseanne and I are in a 90-day mastermind, and it's our second week. And the task or the challenge for this week was to go out and either make a sale or, make some money. And when I had somebody tell me, you have to go and do this, I was like, what? I don't want to have to go to this. And I had a week to do it. I had a week to come up with this amount of money. I'm like, what? There's no way. And so that was where my headspace was. I had no belief in myself. I immediately just thought, oh my, I don't know how I'm going to do this. There's no way I can do this. It's going to be really, really super hard. And I just like, it was like this automatic reaction, like right there. And here we are, like Roseanne and I are teaching you Money Mondays on Monday. We're teaching you Frequency Fridays on Fridays. And seriously, all my shit about money and belief came into my world and crashed on top of me like this huge wave and churned me all up inside. And seriously, this was like a huge wave. This was like if you've ever been body surfing and you were totally dusted and the wave crashed on top of you and you're like down underneath the water and you're swirling and trying to get back up to the surface. That's exactly what it felt for me, probably for like a good 24 hours. And I'm not saying like, I'm just saying, like, when that happens to you, negativity is going to happen. Negativity is going to happen to everybody. I guess what I'm saying is, like, when that happens to you, when something crashes on you and it's so freaking negative, and you feel yourself going into your negative self-beliefs, your disbeliefs about the universe, your lack of trust in the universe, go ahead and just feel that shit. That's really what I'm saying. Go ahead and feel that shit. Because I think if I hadn't allowed myself to feel it, if I think I hadn't recognized, like, oh my God, all of that stuff is kind of like the old me, it's the me that's like, I've rebuilt. I've built a lot of beautiful beliefs and things on top of that old self. but it's still there, right? That little child or that little part of me is still there, where I can get triggered super easily by being pushed into something, you know. And I really had to look at that. All I can say about that challenge is like, it was a freaking blessing. It was a freaking blessing, because it really got me to look at why I went down that negative rabbit hole. And then why my initial gut reaction is not to have this belief in myself and in the universe, and that I'm always going to be taken care of, which has been like a huge, I'm always going to be taken care of, has been a huge belief that I've been working on for a long time. Now, the interesting thing that happened from this whole experience is that my next 24 hours, I had people yelling at me like weird, random things. I mean, it's almost been like freaking all week. This week has been like the most hilarious week. I live by a school, and the school's horseshoe, where the parents drop off their kids. My driveway, to get out of my driveway, I have to back up into that horseshoe. I've almost hit like cars and people all week. I'm trying to back out of my driveway. So it's been like this, and people have been looking at me, you know, or honking their horns. I'm like, oh my God, what is up? What is up with all this? But I've just, part of me, like what I wanted to tell you about the spiral of negative energy. Like when you drop into that negative frequency, it's a freaking ripple effect, because it's freaking weird, negative, crazy poo-poo stuff. It's definitely rippled all into my week all week. Now, I'm not saying my week wasn't fabulous. I had some really great things happen this week. I met my challenge, you know, just wonderful things that happened as well, and other weird things. But it's like we talk about, you know, how your frequency is your currency, and your frequency is something that you want to cultivate, protect, generate, because it's part of how you're going to continue to manifest and evolve and get stronger and stronger and bigger in your life. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Like, yeah, when you spiral into negativity, be aware and see what happens. Because it was like a big slap in the face for me this week. But I'm still here. I'm still happy. I'm still guarding my frequency, and I'm still regaining my balance.
Yeah. shit hitting the fan. That was this week. Yeah. So for me, it was the total opposite. And when I first heard the challenge, I did get a little bit like shocked. Like, how can they expect us to do, make $250 in 7 days? And, and it can only come from a certain place. It can't come from your job. And so my mind went into like she was talking about on the challenge, like, don't try to take the easiest way. And I was like thinking the easiest way, and I was like, well, that's not really right, because that's not what the challenge is supposed to be. But I was okay with it, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it gets to be what it is, and I'll just get inspired. So I did get inspired to put some things on Marketplace, and that went really well. And when the shit hit the fan was the next day, because of a result that I didn't get from somewhere else. Then my belief went crazy and wonky and all over the place, and so I started like seriously having like some health issues because of it. And I was like so distraught over the whole concept of I create my reality, so I must have done this kind of thing. And then it rolled into the challenge, and then I was like, oh my God, now I have to do all this stuff and get this money and blah, blah, blah. And then when so my day, I just kept to myself at work, and I just, kept, thinking it gets to be okay. It gets to be easy. And everything else, like the negativity and the stuff, like triggers start happening. every time I would be like, oh, this gets to be this way, or I get to believe, a certain way, or I get to feel, I choose how I feel, things like started like softening up around me. So it was really interesting to know from one day to the next how you're actually responding and reacting to things. It really just blows your mind when you stop and think. And I was just being grateful for all the universal signs that I saw, and I was just like, oh, thank you. And I just got my mind off of both situations and just like was in the now. And I would look out at nature, or just do anything to just ease my mind, to find the more pleasant thoughts, the more anything to just like ease my body, and all the tension and everything went away in my chest, and I was like breathing better and just breathing deep and just free flowing. So your beliefs can really play tricks on you, because I think that it's more of an ego thing, that I didn't want to be told what to do. So the next day I was like, how can she really tell me what to do? And then blah blah blah. And I was like, wait a minute, this is to benefit us, this is to stretch us. This is the part where they're like, oh, lean into it. And I was like, bullshit. I don't want to lean into that. I don't even have to do it if I don't want to do it. Da da da. So my ego was just like going, you know, be out. And I'm still like letting it be if it's meant to be, because forcing it, I feel like I'm blocking it if I'm in a panic stricken mode, like I was, because of the other situation. So yeah, it's really strange to believe one day and then all of a sudden it's like, where'd it go?
Yeah. And I guess I wanted to touch a point. You said something really great, which I think there's a frequency of ease, right? There's a frequency of ease and grace. And I remember the thing that really pulled me out of my negativity this week is that on my way home from one of my clients, it's like a 45-minute drive. And I just got my phone out and I started to just script out, just talking on the top of my head what my perfect day is. Because I really wanted to engage in the workshop, which I don't know if anybody remembers us talking about this amazing 4-day workshop. I really wanted to be able to do that perfect day task. And I hadn't done it. And I hadn't done it because I didn't want to write it out. It's like I've written out so many other perfect day scripts and I haven't connected to them emotionally. I hadn't really, they were still so freaking cerebral and just not from the heart. And so it was so when I got my phone out, I just started to describe my perfect day. It's like, that's when I started to feel lighter about this challenge that we had and feel like, oh my God, it's totally doable, because I wasn't in that frequency of like, how am I going to do this? I was in the frequency of, oh my God, this is how I want my life to be like. And it was just so freaking beautiful what was coming out of my mouth. And I love that it was just so impromptu. And I love that it was like, I could see the vision, like, and I'd never been able to really do that when I was writing it out, but I could totally see myself in this perfect day, having this perfect day, living this perfect day. And so by the time I got home, I was like, fuck, yeah, this is going to happen.
Yeah. Once I got out of the searching mode, if you're just like continually, your wheels are turning and you're searching, put it out there, and then let the inspired ideas and take action on, like, just certain thoughts before you talk yourself out of them. Because I could have a yard sale and then I started talking myself out of it, and I was like, okay, do I want to sit out in the driveway? Do I want to do this? And I'm like, oh wait, I can do some yard work, I can clean up, I can do other things while I'm out there. But yeah, once I got out of the searching and how am I going to do it mode, and whether it was going to make me feel accomplished or if it was going to make me feel embarrassed if I didn't get it done and everybody else is celebrating. And then I went into a little pity party and I was like, oh, okay, I'm always the cheerleader and I'm, never the, I went into like this whole array of pity party stuff. And then I was like, my ego was like, okay, I don't even care. I don't even want it. So I was like, okay, well, not caring felt better than, the heartache. But I eventually got myself back to like, what is the bigger picture? What is the purpose of all of this? And it's to be easy. It's to happen. And so you have to go through that that growth pain, the growing pains, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it was
Because
interesting.
yeah, because one of my friends on Facebook, who I don't believe is in this community with us, he did a post about how being an entrepreneur is hard, and it's like at the end, it's like, don't you agree? And I'm like, I was so I don't want to agree, because it doesn't have
No,
to be hard. It does none of this.
no.
Life does not have to be hard. It's our frequency, it's our emotions, it's our ego, it's our perspective, it's where we came from, it's our inner child. All of those things are like layers, little onion layers that like pile on this bullshit that we think has
Yeah,
to be hard. We have to, it's like, oh, we have to work for a living. Oh, we have to work, we have to work really hard to make money. Oh, we have to work really hard to be a successful entrepreneur. Well, fuck that, right? Fuck that. I do not choose to believe that. I do not want to believe that. I
no.
don't want any of this to be hard. And it really is, to me, it's just it's a shift of perspective where, I mean, I tell you, I've been there. I've totally been there I've been an entrepreneur for several years. And I totally remember when I first started trying to navigate this online space, everything was hard. It was hard. It was so hard. I mean, but I made it hard because I thought it was hard. It was too much to learn. There's too much technology, there's, too many different opinions on how to be successful and how to do this. And it was just, and I allowed it to be hard, but it doesn't have to be hard. I don't believe in that at all any longer. And I think the beautiful thing with that frequency of ease, when you can step into the frequency of ease, when you can remember the frequency of ease, that everything gets to be easy, everything gets to flow, then I think then the ego lets go a little bit, like doesn't get triggered. I then think that you're more in alignment with your soul and your intuitive self. And it gets to be this more of this, like today I had a massage. So it was like more like you just get to be in that receivership. You get to be in that receivership instead of that pushing, getting your way kind of thing.
Yeah, pushing your way into it. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say something. I can't remember what I was gonna say, but it was more about celebrating the wins helps to get your belief back, because the smaller the wins. I almost feel like every time I get to a place where it's so much struggle that I've worked myself up to a certain frequency, and it's like all of this struggle and pushing and resistance against something, and then when I actually finally do get there, I don't get to celebrate it, or I feel guilty for celebrating it because I was so hard at making it happen. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, it gets to be easy, and I get to celebrate that win. That what happened today was huge, and I was just like, oh, just kind of like, oh, okay, no, I get to celebrate that. I get to celebrate that. It's okay for me to celebrate that. So
we're getting a new dog. We have a new dog. he's wondering
Aww.
he's wondering what's going on. What you doing here? It's very cute. His name is Cody. Cody.
Oh. His name's not Money or Cash.
Huh? Yeah, Cash.
You didn't name him Money or Cash?
No, he came with the name, so we didn't change it.
Oh.
Right. And like today, I'm celebrating. I went to get a massage, and my friend paid for it. And she drove the hour and a half that it took for us to get to the appointments, so I mean,
Nice.
I'm like, yay, like there it is. I'm just in receivership mode, and it's always around. whatever it is that you're really looking for, it's there. You just need to open your eyes to it, because it may not be in the package that you thought it was supposed to be in. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
like, let's
Absolutely.
make a deal. Let's make a deal. What's that behind door number 2? No.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
All right. Anything else you need to
So
add?
yeah, no, just when you get triggered, and you will, just, look for the better feeling thought.
Yeah.
What's going to make you feel better? If you get your mind completely off of it, look at nature, look at something else, draw, watch a movie, like you said. Just
Yeah.
really, and
I mean,
and I did a lot of self-talk of, like, after I just accepted it and let the feelings come up, and I just kind of looked at them, and, well, like, okay, why, where's that coming from? And then I said, okay, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to figure out why you feel this way, and just be a lot easier. I do take a whole day of just being easy.
yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
gets to be okay.
Yeah.
Nothing is worth hyperventilating and sweating and getting a headache and being mean to everybody around you.
Right. It does not have to be life and
That's what
death.
everybody else is doing. Not everybody else that's in that mode of that frequency, and rushing around and snipping at people, and that they're not in alignment. So I like try to do my best to get myself back into alignment. So that's what's around me, is what's in my yeah, that's all I
Yeah.
got.
All right. Me too.
If you guys have any triggers, drop them below and let's hear. Let's have a
Yeah. And if you did not go through the 4-day workshop, oh my gosh, you are missing out on 4 amazing freaking days of trainings. The perfect day exercise, really stellar. The day 2 is about the frequency of money, amazing. Day 3 is Tariq, who freaking blew my socks off. He talks a lot about this, about how we have 3 voices. We have our intuitive voice, our ego voice, and our fear voice. Oh my gosh, it will help you. I think cluing into that has helped me a lot with my frequency this week. And then and day 4 is all about the community and what other things you can do outside in this community, and how you can just not only prosper but soar.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. So if you want to get that link to the workshop, it's still open. You'd just be watching replays. Everything's, nothing's live anymore, but you can still get all the trainings and all of that incredible value.
Yeah.
And the links are in the group. Cool.
All right.
All right, honey.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later.
Yep. See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.